Igbo mụrụ nze m ọzọ, anyị ekene unu ọzọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi tata. Anyị sị unu ụtụtụ ọma, efifie ọma, mgbede ọma, site na ngara ebe isi wee na-esoyere anyị n'elu akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa na Igbo midia, bụ ebe anyị si wee na-ewetara unu ya bụ ife gbara ọkpụrụkpụ na-eme na ana Igbo dị iche iche, obodo dị iche iche na ana Igbo na obodo nke anyị nọ n'ime ya. Dịka o si dị, ọbụna nke a bụ mgbọsị izizi gị ị na-esonyere anyị n'elu akwụkwọ na Igbo midia, ekabalụ ka imetụ aka n'ebe a na-acha red and subscribe, share ekwe ya, gbakwa ụmụnne anyị ndị ọzọ ka fasịsọ anyị na-esonyekwara anyị n'ihe anyị na-eme.
And the de facto government in homeland. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Good evening, our cabinet members, ministers, heads of department, friends of Biafrans, ladies and gentlemen of the press. I welcome every one of you this evening. Good evening, our international attorney, Dr. Levy. I welcome you to this very first ever Biafra Republic Government in Exile press briefing to inform Biafrans on the milestone of this government within a very short period of time, especially on this Banjul court development. My fellow Biafrans, since I was elected the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, I made sure that we fulfill the promise to the Biafra people by following the template and liberating Biafra using multi-dimensional approach. The multi-dimensional approach, the political approach, diplomatic approach, and of course, in self-defense and armed struggle approach. The reason for that is that while we are following the international most acceptable way of liberating people that are being subjugated or enslaved by the oppressors, we as well, and at the same time, decided to protect and defend ourselves against a known terrorist state called Nigeria. So my fellow Biafrans, we continue to pursue the freedom of Biafra people using every mechanism necessary. Of course, there is a need for us to also use the judicial approach. And today we are in Banjul court with the Nigeria terrorist state. The Nigeria terrorist state, many people may not understand why we will continue to address Nigeria as a terrorist state. A country where terrorists are reintegrated within 6 months of so-called surrender. Knowing fully well that you cannot reintegrate terrorists within 6 months. In fact, terrorism is something that is very ideological. It is not something you are going to solve by putting people in one place you call a camp and giving them food and teaching them how to live a life and make food, or how to run and do trainings. And then after 6 months, you will say that you have now de-radicalized them. There is no point in de-radicalizing a terrorist that is very ideological. And today we have seen the effect of those whom they claim to have been de-radicalized and reintegrated into the society, including recruiting them into military, police, Air Force, Navy, and all that. We've seen the havocs, the menace they cause in our land, and when they are recruited, they deploy them to Biafra territory, and they will begin to burn villages, houses, instead of protecting the people. And of course, the reason for that is not very, very far from what we have been suspecting for a very long time, Islamization of Nigeria. We do not have anything against Islam, but we expect the other people to also respect our choice of religion. We are Christians, Jewish, and of course, traditional worshippers. And you cannot force us to embrace a different religion that we are not conversant with or that we don't want in our life. So that is the reason you see many killings, ethnic cleansing, annihilation of many ethnic groups, and of course, other indigenous nationalities within the Niger area. And Biafra people have stood up to resist that particular barbarism and massacre of different ethnic nationalities within the Niger area. Biafrans are resisting it, and for that reason, in as much as we want peace, we must defend ourselves. In as much as we want to exit Nigeria, we must make sure that our women and children are not killed like before. We must make sure that we don't go out to the street and give ourselves very cheaply to the Nigeria state to be massacred. We've seen a massacre of Biafrans from 1999, after many, many years from after the war. We've seen the emergence of Biafra from 1999 under Mossop. Many thousands of them were killed, many buried in shallow grave. From 2013, we saw the emergence of the indigenous people of Biafra under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Many of them were butchered and killed from 2015 to 2017, 2018, and of course, even in 2022 and in 2023. Many of them were killed. The last one happened in Aba, in a state called Abia State, in the former Abia State, and they were protesting, and many of them were killed and butchered live in the street of Aba. After that massacre, we ordered sit at home to make sure that those who killed them were hunted down by the Biafra people. Of course, we recorded some success on that, and we continue to make sure that those who come to kill Biafrans will not live to tell the story. It is self-defense. It has been activated, and you can agree with me that since Biafra Republic Government in Exile, the unveiling of the Biafra Defense Forces, the Biafra Liberation Army, and Biafra Resistance Fighters, this barbarism, this killing has reduced to the minimum. They no longer kill our people at will. We no longer even give them that particular opportunity to kill anymore. And each time they come to kill in our community, we have ruthlessly resisted that particular barbarism. And today, you can see all of them crying. And sometimes I look at them, how they cry, and I laugh. I was listening to the so-called defense chief, Musa, lamenting how Nigeria has engaged Finland. I do not know what they are engaging Finland for. Is Simon Ekpa in Nigeria? The answer is no. You know where Biafra Liberation Army they are. If you think that you have the firepower, you go there. You have been going there with armored tanks. You have been visiting those camps. And of course, at the end of the day, you get defeated. And then you go to the social media and cry about Simon Ekpa. Is Simon Ekpa in Nigeria carrying gun? Is Simon Ekpa the one that you are coming to kill in their villages, in the villages? Is Simon Ekpa the one that made you to kill over 200 people in Aba school? Is this Simon Ekpa that was the reason why you killed massacre Biafras at Mpo? Was this Simon Ekpa the reason why you kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why you kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? I was still having broadcasts on YouTube. I have not even proved anything to the terrorist state of Nigeria. You kidnapped him, thinking that after that, Biafra will end. In fact, after the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, many of you organized press conference, from the special advisor to the president then, to the national security advisor, to the Minister of Justice, AGF, Malami. All of you organize press conference bragging how Biafra have ended, bragging how you can never hear, very soon, nobody will hear about Biafra again. You thought you also succeeded, but hey, actually, I am just starting. If you think that you have cried, believe me, after the second day of December, when Biafra may have counted their vote and issued a declaration for the restoration of independence of Biafra, believe me, your cry will multiply by 1,000. I want to also assure you people that the voting for self-referendum that is going today have recorded a very tremendous success. Today, from the homeland alone, we've recorded over 6 million votes, 6 million. And this is just the first stage of the voting. The first stage is going to end this May ending, and we enter the second stage. So those 20 million Biafrans who boycotted the election on the order of the Biafra Republic government in exile during the Nigeria general election, I believe many of them are ready to cast their vote. And the number of those who are waiting to cast their vote may have even increased. And on this note, I want Biafrans to listen to the awareness that we have created globally. Today in America, they are talking about Biafra. In Asia, they are talking about Biafra. We'll force the American media to start writing about Biafra. It is a must, because it is going to be the beginning of the civilization in Africa. And on this note, I call on the media team to flash on the screen the latest development. As a matter of fact, I do not know which country this video is coming from, but just to show you how far the Biafra self-referendum awareness have reached, I want the media team to show this video on the screen. Like I said, I do not know from which country, but there are Biafrans, and this particular awareness has penetrated, and we are now global. So media team, flash it on the screen, and I will continue from there. Thank you.
Come on, the jingle, please.
Go to referendum now, but Biafra is going. Anything I know, Biafra is going. Kind of life and direct, we are going. So when you vote, because we need it tomorrow. I will need vote. Let's go home and fix our place. I want to buy the money. I am on my to a back. Or to a group, it's our neighbor. In that campaign park, you will talk and the buy in gas friends, in gas subjugation, to talk and the buy. Can you not know? I need to buy. No, but I got tired of work. I got 1 year. They are tired. Even my father in it. I don't know how to go that. Even if some people that this citizen have gone airport, they mess them up with their citizenship. So because when you have a mother, if you have a plan, you know how to go over that, it's better for you. So if only I know about that, either they are not or they are not. 2021. The Bible will that total 168. So also more than whatever they want to that. Africa, whatever they want. But you can now no. Because I just say that no matter how messed up Rome is, Rome is Rome. From there back, they go tired of us. Let's go home. What happened now? The one that makes me go to Kaila the buy. I rest my case. Because there is some now I know that. The man I have alone. I want to buy an amount of that. I'm going to have to. I'm going to not told you. I'm not going to have I'm not going to. So if I got to make it expire, I'm going to go. So I like to do the best people. I rest my case.
I'm going to open 100 and something people. If I agree, man, I agree with what China. Okay, so I got.
All right, thank you very much. So if you watch the video, you will understand that the spirit of Biafra has possessed Biafrans all over the world. Somebody should be able to find out which country is that. But the Biafran people are voting in mass, in millions, and it is as a result of the resilience of the government, the resilience of the Biafra Defense Forces, and of course, the genuineness in the people piloting the affair of this particular movement. I have just been confirmed that this is from South Africa. So if you listen to the speaker, he said over 100 or something people were killed last year. And that's the number. It may be more than that. And of course, our aim is to make sure we provide a stable and sane society in Biafra land where our people can return home, develop themselves, and attain their maximal potentials. There is nowhere you are in the world today as a Biafran, no matter how well you are doing, and no matter how important you are, there is no way you are going to attain your potential in those countries of your residence or the countries of your abode. Biafra remain the only hope, the only solution, where your aspiration, your potential, you are going to attain to the highest maximum. So my Biafra people, I want to thank you all for making sure you support this government. For today, we can witness the peace in Biafra land. It is the only place where people are not being butchered like other parts of Nigeria. So I thank you for your support, especially the financial donors who make it possible for us to buy equipment, sophisticated weapons to defend our land against the Nigeria terrorist state that comes with Tucano aircraft, Tucano jet fighter, bombardier, and of course, military tanks, to bomb and bombard our land. We have always provided adequate military hardware to be used by the Biafra Defense Force to defend our women and children from the terrorist state of Nigeria. Today, we have been able to successfully submit the application at the African Court in Banjul. And of course, the details of this application and this filing will be made public immediately after this press briefing. And on this note, our attorney, Dr. Jonathan Levy, will be coming in after me to give more detailed amplifying the importance of this particular application at the African Union. Many other filings will be coming, as I have made very clear to the Biafra people that what we are doing is using a multi-dimensional approach for the freedom of Biafra. So now this is the legal approach that many of you may have wished that it may have come earlier than now, but no, this is the exact time, right time that we take this necessary step. Not it shouldn't have come before, and we shouldn't wait till next month. No, this is the exact right time that we should take this particular step we've taken today. That application was submitted yesterday successfully. We've received acknowledgement, and Dr. Levy will come to give more insight on the implications on the Nigeria side about the Banjul Court application filed by the Biafra government. Officially, Biafra versus Nigeria. On this note, I thank you for your support so far. Remember, we still have a very long way to go. The declaration is coming on the 2nd of December. For this to happen successfully, we need support, we need encouragement, and we'll continue to push until the 2nd of December. Nigerians and their terrorist state are not sleeping. Likewise, the Biafra people, we are also not sleeping. If you look at my eyes, you will find out that I have not slept for many days. And I am still not going to sleep until the 2nd of December. They say, Onye rarora emegini ebureboya. They won. Thank you.
Thank you, the Prime Minister. Dr. Jonathan, over to you, please.
Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. I also want to thank the spokesperson for making my job very easy, because we all know the background and she summed it up very well. For those of you who don't know me, I've been involved with Biafra for a long time. I've filed in the past many of these human rights complaints that seem to go nowhere. And my position has always been, when there is a united government of Biafra, such as there is now, we will start to see some results. So now we move forward with a filing with the African Commission, but not on our hands and knees. We don't come forward as a supplicant begging them. We come forward as the government of Biafra. And the name of the communication, the filing that's been made with the African Commission is Biafra versus Nigeria, not Masab, not some other organization, but the government of Biafra. So that is what's been filed. And thanks to the organization of the government, we had a person in Banjul who was able to negotiate the filing over the counter with the commission. So we have a file stamp on there. And now the Nigerians have to answer. The Nigerian government has to answer, but not to an organization, not to a person, but they have to answer to Biafra. And here, I'll show you. Let's see if I can just share the screen here. Bear with me. Here we go. So if you can see this, it says, before the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, Biafra versus Nigeria. This is it. We come as equals, filing our complaint. And you can see, there it is, the file stamp of the African Commission, which was achieved at
Dr.
some
Levy, Dr. Levy,
yes.
Are you sharing a screen? Because we
Well,
can see.
Oh,
And by Dalo Lineno, only if Konisi, when I saw any and many rock on Opasinketa, as a Copasinketa Mano Noma, I think which Korea zero, and the Cosidi, and the king of the Biafran Prime Minister Kuni Rakuba, Zoduki Biabo, Iabo, Ibo Media, Kaisipo when you were telling Nukozia do Kemba, Geniki when you Kubasta Makaya Bifa. Kabaroke drop for your comment, your own suggestion. Ni endari in the Biafran Prime Minister Kuni Rakuba. Thank you so much and stay tuned at Igbo Media. Daro no munem kemesian.